Tony says, "Come on, guys, let's talk." Shoots him and says, "Good talk." And Henchman says, "No, it wasn't." Okay, that's okay. That's
No,
okay. That's not
it
genius
was.
writing, but that's okay.
It was. I swear, it was funny when I
That
watched
probably
it
that
earlier
probably made
today.
me laugh. I probably wouldn't want to admit it, but that probably made
I
me laugh
just
when I was watching.
I
I
was not a
definitely
huge
laughed.
fan. All right, so hold on, real quick thing because I got to re-intro for when I cut the video. Hey,
Yes.
everybody, ranking the MCU. We review two
Ah,
Marvel. We review two Marvel movies every week. This week it's Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. That's Aaron. That's Derek. I'm Bronson. Okay, let's go.
let's go.
For those of you who want to know why it's so quick this week, it's because the first 15 minutes of this shit broke.
You can head over to YouTube.
Or are we starting all the way over?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really get very far.
All right,
Oh,
so
no, that's true. I'm just trying to understand.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so Aaron, you thought it was the same. Derek, you liked it a little less. Yeah, I was okay. Like, I came away with it liking it a little less, but about the same.
Okay.
That's pretty much where I was at, because it wasn't like a big difference, but I don't appreciate it like as much as I did when it came out.
I came away from it being like some parts of this movie really land, but this kind of just feels like them rehashing the first one with a couple new bits, and like it kind of comes off as lazy.
What? Well,
Like
That's fair, because I actually had that similar thought, and again, that's from someone who's typically still actually really likes this movie, but I did kind of have that same opinion.
yeah, like it like I still had a good time. Like I didn't fucking hate it. Like I remember when I was talking to Thomas afterwards about my thoughts of it. I was just like this isn't this isn't bad. This isn't bad, but it's like also just like it feels fucking lazy. Like, and he fucking did not like it. By the way, if you're curious about his opinion, he had to move a couch this afternoon tonight. I guess.
Thomas gave Winter
Always.
Soldier a 2, so I'm not
So this is probably like a 1 for him.
Jesus Christ.
He's our hard critic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, like for me, it's like very much a 3 bordering on a 2. Like I had a good time with it. I have a good time with it, but like at times I'm just like, feels too much like the first one without a lot of the impact. Does have some really cool moments, but like I don't love a lot of those moments either. Like I will say I do love everything up through the party, like the beginning to the party to the.
Good.
Because you have that opening fight bit, and it's real strong. It showcases each Avenger really well.
Yep.
You get the twins laid out there, who they are, what their powers are. You get a couple good one-liners. You get a couple fucking bad one-liners. You get introduced to the Iron Legion. Like it's a good setup for like, okay, hey, if you've never watched an Avengers, and since we can't do the thing we did in the first movie where we, introduced you to all these guys in like 20-minute or like 10 minute intervals, we need just one big thing. This is the best we can do. Mm-hmm. Like, good job there. I like Tony and Bruce talking about Ultron. And then, like, probably the best part of this whole movie is that damn party.
The
Party's
party's great, man. I love the party.
Um,
I love when like Chris is telling, or not Chris Evans, Steve's telling Banner that like he's seeing Black Widow flirting, up close, and that wasn't, what she was talking to him wasn't just like her average flirting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, I'm waiting for Banner to say it because he totally missed it, and then like after Steve's already walked away, he's like, wait, what do you mean up close? I'm like, now you ask him. Like, that would have been my first question.
Yeah, like and then the Stan Lee cameo in this section is great.
That might be my favorite Stan Lee cameo
so far. Yes,
so good.
the War Machine, the War Machine stuff, the Banner and Natasha stuff, like it's all really funny. And then of course we have Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer. It's a huge. That's a iconic bit from this whole MCU.
Yeah, and that the Captain America part
The
is
Yep.
look, yeah, the
fantastic.
look on his face when Cap gets it to wiggle. He's
Uh,
Very good.
so, yeah, so then we have Ultron's birth and introduction, which his introduction's fucking spooky as fuck.
It's awesome.
It's
yes, my
really
favorite
good. Like that's something I'll give it credit for right there. Is like that. Like I wish they would have done Ultron as a whole better,
Mhm.
but this particular like intro to him is very fucking strong.
Yeah.
You know, James Spader being a G.
Yeah,
Then
Is that James Spader?
I believe it is. Yeah.
If his voice and his appearance stayed as like spooky as it did in his intro throughout the entire movie, the movie would rank so much higher for me. And maybe that's just like a personal gripe, but I don't like when his voice gets cleaned up later. It's just not.
That doesn't necessarily bother me. What bothers me is he gets, and I get it's the Tony part of him, but like once again, this movie gets too jokey for me. Like I'm just like Jesus fucking Christ. Like normally,
It's a little cheeky at times later.
yeah, at times in this movie, I'm like, okay, some of these one-liners are good, but like at other times, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's, do we really need a one-liner every 10 seconds? So that and then the villain doing them as well. My problem with Ultron is there's a lot of places they could have gone with him, and like his philosophy and everything, and the only place they go anywhere with it is in the last 10 seconds that he's alive. Like
It's,
him.
yeah, it's kind of a simplistic kind of story for him. Like it's a fantastic start, and then it's just him doing his evil plan. And like they figured out from the start, it's like he has a corrupted understanding of peace and order and all that, and like that's just true all the way till the end. It's like, okay, there's nothing. Is there nothing more to explore with this character? Then is this it?
There is more to explore, and we're going to explore it in our last 10 seconds that he's alive. like,
A little bit, yeah.
like, what? Like, and it's such a shame because Ultron in the comics and in this is like has the potential to be like so much good thought put into him. Like,
Right.
I wish he would have got the love that Thanos got. Cause like Ultron, like, but nah, like just turned into another robot Jeff Bridges. You know, like that.
I would
That's
say it's cooler than Robot Jeff Bridges.
but it's the same kind of bad guy. Just like kind of one note.
Yeah,
He is a very one-dimensional villain.
Yeah.
a very cool looking, very strong intro one-dimensional villain, but still
Yes.
very, very much like, hey, yep, one thing. He's off doing his plan, and he's like, we need vibranium, and he finds that one dude who will have a way bigger part in Black Panther.
No, Clow or whatever.
Yeah,
played by
Claw.
The great Andy Serkis.
Yeah, like the Andy Serkis character. He gets his fucking arm cut off and becomes a multi-billionaire.
yeah.
What-
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure they could probably fix it. Yeah, it's just my arm.
That was one of the better ones for sure. But then they have an action set piece up with his robots, and like that's fine. And then the twins come and kick pretty much everyone's ass.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that thanks to Wanda.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like that bit in the fight where like a Quicksilver tries to grab Thor's hammer out of the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
funny.
good.
Yeah, no, and it's that fight scene is fine. We get introduced to everyone's fears, which I guess that's like trying to provide more character to the Avengers. But like, my problem is like we knew all this shit already. Like we knew all this, and like in the case of fucking Tony, we're doing it for the fourth fucking time.
I mean, if you're tired of this, I wonder how Batman fans feel.
Yeah. I mean, as a Batman fan, I get kind of pissed off at some of that. But like,
I gotta point out real quick, dude, like how tortured of like an actor is Aaron Taylor Johnson, because like look at his life, dude. Like he played the guy in Kick Ass, and like that was okay, and then they did the sequel, and then he's in like that Godzilla movie, which he was fine in, but no one was happy with that movie because Godzilla's in the movie for like 5 seconds, and then he did this movie, gets killed, spoiler alert, and then he
oh,
marries a 54-year-old woman and takes her last name. That's why he's Aaron Taylor Johnson instead of just Aaron Johnson. She was grooming him while he was like in his early 20s.
I I mean, like,
She's so poor.
let's talk about the fact that, I mean, like, if we're gonna spoil that, the way he dies is stupid. The way Quicksilver dies in this movie is so fucking dumb.
Yeah. Nope.
It's dumb as hell.
Why would he have gotten hit?
He's super fast and can dodge bullets. It's his whole thing.
Yes,
I love the
basically like
idea.
Marvel's Flash.
I love the idea of using a car to stop bullets so that some people didn't get hit. A car the size of a horizontal car to block for 2 people, and he puts himself to the side of it.
Yes,
Why?
It's
just like, it's so fucking dumb.
It's Titanic. There was enough room on the paddle for
Oh my
Leo.
God.
What are we doing?
Dude, it's like you said earlier, Bronson. Like there's some parts in this movie where the writing, excuse me, just feels really lazy.
And like,
And that death is just kind of not very good.
yeah, like, you know, and then, like, if we're going back in order, like, that Hulkbuster fight was fucking amazing. Like, that was so good. I was so...
Someone.
That is a fun one. You get some Avengers on Avengers action, a matchup that you normally wouldn't see. You know, Tony
Watching
versus...
the Avengers tear up a city and like witnessing the horror of, oh God, we're just destroying this place. We're proving Ultron right.
I really love how during the middle of the fight, Tony buys a building so we can fucking drop Hulk through it.
That was a good climax to that fight too. Was that building.
Yeah, so that was a good fight, you know, but also, like, you know, then you know, they go back to the farm after the royal ass whooping they received. Very much like how they received a royal ass whooping in the first movie. Except this one's not as impactful, in all honesty. So yeah, we get that. You know, Tony and Cap have their dispute again. You know, like, just fucking again. Like, all of it's just Avengers 1. Fucking again! Like, god damn it. You know?
I hate to break it to you about some comic book storylines. They tend to revisit.
Yes, but this is the second movie of the... like, this is the second Avengers. Like, fuck, man.
I don't disagree with you, but it doesn't take away anything from the movie for me.
It takes away a little bit for me, like some of the impacts.
A little more like a little bit.
Like, you know, Nick Fury.
I felt the rage, man.
Yeah. That's just because I have a fucking burning anger in my heart. I'm pretty sure if my parents didn't throw me into anger management when I was in like 5th grade, I would be just fucking the worst person right now. Finding out about my background a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, Nick Fury shows up and is like, "You guys work as a team." Blah 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 blah. You know, Thor goes to Selvig and get a power up and sees a vision. And then Ultron wants a new body made of vibranium, and he gets Dr. Cho to work on it. But you know, shit goes sideways. And then
I gotta ask real quick. Sorry, does she die later?
I believe she bites it. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I thought I remembered her biting it, but then I was watching this movie and I was like, I couldn't tell if she did or not.
I mean, that might tell some things about the movie also, that I literally watched it 2 days ago, and I don't remember all of it.
I mean, I watched it earlier, and today, and I was still like, I'm like, did she die? Did she just get mined? Whatever? Did she make it? Like, I honestly tell you.
Yeah,
Says
so
here she made it.
um,
Oh, so she did make it.
so then we have the midpoint conflict where Ultron does get away, but our heroes get his new body and everything, and everything. So kind of it's a bad, and Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are like, okay, I want to work for you guys now because he's obviously cuckoo. And, Banner and Tony play mad scientist some more with putting Jarvis into the new body. Thor, because of his vision, charges it up. And we get Vision.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta say, Tony and Banner's scenes in this movie are like some of my favorite scenes.
they're so good. They're so good. Though also they remind me of every conversation I've ever had with my friend Anthony.
I just love watching RDJ and Mark Ruffalo play off each other. I just think they do it really well.
So, anywho's what's it? Going forward. So they start evacuating the city, and they're starting to prep. I do like how when discussing their plan, just like he's gonna be coming after. He's gonna be coming. I'll be the distracted because he's gonna be coming after me. That's true. He does hate you the most.
Yep.
Like that. That was a good one liner. That one made me laugh out loud. We have Natasha and Banner, and Banner's like, "Oh, we need to go away. Like, fuck all of this." And then Natasha's like, "Nah, we need to be superheroes." And then the big battle starts, and it's really good. It's a very fun, entertaining battle. I like a lot of it. I do like, and this goes back to the first battle. Why didn't Cap keep that magnet for the rest of the series?
The
He
magnet.
likes to do things the hard way, man.
Yeah, the magnet, like how we can call the shield back to him with a fucking magnet now.
I thought he did. Why wouldn't you keep that? That seems like it's a built-in feature, right? Like that's
Well, like, yeah, no, Tony adds that in this movie, and it's never in another one.
that doesn't make sense to me. That seems like a default feature for Captain America.
Yeah, and yet it isn't. Just like how they take away Black Widow's nunchucks and electricity bullcrap after this one.
Oh, that sucks because that's like anyway. All right.
But yeah, you have this really fun, big action set piece.
Yep.
I don't think it's as good as the one in the first one, but there's a lot, it feels like that one, but with more, because there's obviously more heroes, and like they're having trouble. They're like, fuck this, the city, the Ultron's raising the city up, boosting it to the air to have it, land as act as a comet and destroy all of humanity. And they think they're going to win. It's like, well, hey, we're going to have to kill all these civilians and ourselves to do this. But then Nick Fury shows up to help evacuate with a helicarrier, which, I mean, seems sketch, but whatever.
It is sketch knowing Nick Fury, but in that moment, this is the Shield. This is what Shield's supposed to be.
Yep, a literal quote from the movie.
I remember at one point in that movie, Nick Fury's wearing like a really fly outfit, not like his typical, all black, whatever coat. And I was like, man, why doesn't he dress like that more often? Like, I like the more stylish civilian, but still got my eye patch, Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. Look, man. Nick Fury likes to go all out. He is a full-on spy Shield man. Like how stylish casual is his undercover. The man is dramatic, and everyone has to just accept it.
So they take out all the machines, or most of them, and they're like, okay, we have to defend this point, so it doesn't drop and everything. And you have that big fucking moment with like all of the Avengers in a circle defending it. Like it's the same thing as once again the first movie, but like more and bigger.
Man, they really went out for that bit too.
They did. Ooh. They went fucking hard. They went real fucking hard. Like all the Avengers in it: Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Hulk, Iron Man, Vision. Like the only ones that aren't there are the B team of, fucking Falcon and War Machine. You know,
I like
but
the little pep talk Hawkeye has with Scarlet Witch.
that was good.
Yep.
That was genuinely funny and heartfelt. But yeah, man, like they just slow this machine down and it's the exact same camera pan, but more.
Yes.
Um,
Ah.
and then they have the three people who can shoot lasers or lightning, blast Ultron. He of course gives another one-liner, and then Hulk punches him, and then roars at the other robots that they have to destroy. So, yeah, the scene continues. Hulk escapes on a jet. Well, he rips Ultron out of the jet and then escapes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they finish him off. Or Scarlet Witch literally rips his heart out after Quicksilver dies. And then Thor and Tony destroy the what is essentially a meteor.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get away, and then Vision has a conversation with the last Ultron, which is like really good philosophy and some shit to explore that could have been explored over the course of the whole movie. But
it sort of kind of was explored over the course of the movie, but not very directly.
Not like not in any way that's satisfying. Like
Yeah, Ultron's basically calling Vision a slave, and Vision's like not really agreeing with him, but he is at the same time, and then he's also trying to point out like, things aren't beautiful because they last forever, and that he doesn't understand humanity and all these things. And of course, it just sounds all super wise because it's Paul Bettany talking. So.
Right. Yeah, it's not even a point I necessarily completely agree on myself, but it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, like there's a lot you could have done here, and the fact that we get this is kind of a bummer. Then Avengers all meet up at their new headquarters Tony's paying for upstate.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye gets to retire, and then they're like, okay, we need to shape get these new Avengers to shape up, and then Tony's like, I'm gonna retire, and and Cap's like, all right, we're gonna get ready.
Can we talk about the fact that in this movie it's stated that Captain America can't afford a place in Brooklyn as an Avenger?
Yeah, and that was 6 years ago when this movie came out.
Right. Damn.
Imagine now.
Is Ultron really only 6 years old?
Yep. Came out in 2015.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Ancient history.
Why did I think? I guess that makes sense because the first Avengers it was
2012. Yep.
Yeah. So just to show you how fast the clip that these movies came out.
Yep.
Yep.
Then we got our post credits of Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself.
And I wanted to mention. So I noticed like in this scene, I was like, that is unmistakably Josh Brolin's voice.
Yep.
Like because we were talking about last week how it'd been him playing it, but it didn't. I didn't think it sounded like him yet. But like when I heard that earlier today, I was like, that's his voice straight up, like unedited. That's just Josh Brolin.
So, and that was a good post credits, and Thor sets more of that up when he's talking, of course. There's other stuff out there. 4 of the 6 Infinity Stones have been found recently. We're being played.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I
found a 1-bedroom in Brooklyn for $1,750.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Look, okay, you guys, look. I could pick this one that's closer to Manhattan, and that is $2,450. Here's $2,675. I saw one with 3 at the front.
None of this is okay.
None of it's okay. You're right.
I've seen a 600 square foot apartment in Seattle for like $3,000 before. So.
Yeah.
No. There's 100. There's 1 bedrooms here for going for $2,000. So no, I feel you.
In Reno.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Reno's expanding. Like it's not like what it was. It's like
it is not like what it was.
It's turning into a real boy.
I'm glad like my days of living in an apartment ended before it got as expensive.
I'm so glad that I am renting a house from family where my rent is honestly more than I should probably be paying for the house. considering the circumstances, but like it's still far cheaper than the rest of the fucking city. So
That's a win.
Um,
You're in an apartment at Capitol Hill, right, Aaron?
Oh yeah, but I'm in a low income program.
Oh, okay. Well,
So mine is for 1 bedroom, 1210.
That's really amazing.
That's actually amazing for here.
I'm like, literally, I don't believe you.
It was a brand new building that got put
I
in.
totally believe you. I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
That's...
I was trying to get a apartment here properly a while ago, and that I at the very last minute found out it was 1,500, and I was like, cannot swing that, cannot begin to swing.
That's what Ray pays for his 2-bedroom out here.
Oh God, 2 bedroom.
Oh no, sorry, he pays 17. I apologize.
Oh okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, 17. My bad. Still expensive.
Expensive.
Especially considering, in 2016, you could get a 2-bedroom for $900.
Lot changed.
Dude, I remember when I was looking for my first studio, and it was $500.
Yep.
Like, you can, and if you were smart or willing to live in the hood, you can get a studio for $400 back in the day.
Sure.
So, anyway, Age of Ultron. What's everyone give this out of 5?
Oh, this is hard, actually.
I don't know if you saw my hand, but I put up a 3.
3?
Yeah.
I also give it a 3. I was bordering on a 2, but there are parts of it that are still a lot of fun. Even
I've already
though,
seen Ultron intro. 2 would be unfair, I think.
yeah, like 2 would be unfair. That's what I said about Iron Man 2 as well, because this movie feels like it was fucking lazy, but it's still a lot of fun in the parts that are there.
I just don't know. I don't know what this movie sets up for the rest of the other movies, other than Vision.
I mean, it sets up Vision, and then there's the post-credits bit, I suppose.
And like that post-credits bit could have been put in the end of Guardians if they really wanted it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like if they could have put it a lot of places, but they didn't.
I because we can't go halvesies on these. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Wow! Okay.
I was almost inclined to give it a 4, but
wow. Okay, I'm on the opposite end of this then.
But no, I think a 3.
There's something I've learned about myself as we've been developing this list, and that is I care a lot more when the Avengers are together.
Yeah, as I'm watching going through this list, I like them way more when they're apart.
Aaron, I agree with you. I do like them more when they're together, and I think that's another one of my criticisms of this movie. Like, even when they're together, it doesn't really feel like they're together, like in some of the other movies, as like impactfully. I think, other than maybe in the beginning.
I think it's just a poor middle child.
I think I definitely think that's part of it. Like I definitely think that it's I definitely think that's part of it. Is like it just like they couldn't do Civil War yet, and they couldn't do fucking what's it called, Infinity War yet. So they were just like, shit. Okay, well, I guess we're done. Like
I mean, it sets up what it does is sets up Civil War. Because the whole question is like the Avengers are just destroying everything around them. And the problem with Ultron is that by the end, it's like, okay, you went through the low of everyone being afraid of you, and then you went to the high of like, oh, well, they saved people. And it doesn't actually answer the question, which Civil War does answer, which is, you guys keep breaking shit, and you're like endangering people's lives. We're actually going to take action against you. And
yeah, and that's a far better movie, to be fair.
As I remember it,
like at the beginning when when the party's being broken up and then Thor is like, none of you are worthy, and Ultron comes out and he's like, of course none of you are worthy, you're all killers. And I'm like, damn, like let's go. But
Yeah,
also he's kind of right, you know.
but like that's another thing about this movie that like as someone who like is a comic fan as well, it also pisses me off that they just waste Ultron. Like they just piss him away.
Yeah, because he never comes back later.
No!
That's why I was saying it doesn't set up that much, because he's like actually just full on gone.
Like they could have just done a scene where like, oh, Ultron's still somewhere in the fucking internet.
I mean, in the comics, like most of these characters go on and like reappear multiple times, right?
Right, but like Ultron is like such a like key villain. Like no one gives a fuck if Ironmonger comes back. Like what the fuck ever.
Who the fuck is Ironmonger?
Iron Man 1's bad guy.
Oh.
No
is that what Jeff Bridges
Jeff
called
Bridges.
himself? I didn't even know he was called. I honestly I thought he was literally called.
They don't really set him up as Ironmonger because they just set him up as business guy trying to rip off Iron Man.
Yeah, that's an actual character in the comics. I don't know if you read Iron Man. Just heads up. That's a reoccurring villain.
To be fair, that same kind of character reappears multiple times.
To be completely transparent, I have never purchased a Marvel comic. I typically only purchase DC.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm a lot bigger of a DC fan on the comic side. I just know like Marvel. I know only like the really biggest of the big stories. You know,
same here. I know Marvel niche.
Yeah, so like I know the biggest of the big stories and a couple of small side ones. You know, like like fucking. You know, when they showed the Thor Ragnarok cover, I was like, oh, they're doing Planet Hulk. Okay, cool. You know, like shit like that. You know, so all right, so we have 2 3s and a 4. So where would you place it, Aaron?
See, that's hard because the way we have our list set up, like already this top end is out of order for me. So like, where do I place it in this out of order top half here?
I'm just going off of memory, but wouldn't it rank like just below Winter Soldier, or maybe just below?
It was so. Here are the 4. The movies that have gotten 4s are Winter Soldier and Iron Man. So it would be somewhere between. It would be above Iron Man, somewhere above Iron Man 2, and somewhere below Iron Man 3. If we're sticking to majority rating out of 5, but we don't have to do that, of course. You know, we could fucking throw it at 1. We could throw it at 0 if we wanted to.
Yeah, I think maybe it would be maybe just above Iron Man 3, maybe.
I would put it just above Iron Man 2.
That works.
See, I would put it above Iron Man 1.
Okay, so you'd put it above Iron Man 1, I'd put it above Iron Man 2, you'd put it above Iron Man 3.
No, but I mean, is this personal preference or trying to like in terms of like an actual average?
I mean that's just a way of trying to figure out like a consensus among us. I would stick it between Iron Man and Winter Soldier.
All right, I'm okay with that. I also want to know the chat's opinion out of curiosity.
Yeah, if chat wants to speak up on either Twitch or YouTube, go ahead and say your piece now.
Like, I would rather watch Iron Man 1 than Age of Ultron, but then again, I would also... But then again, going back to last week, I'd rather watch Iron Man 1 than fucking Winter Soldier as well, so... You know. But I would rather watch Winter Soldier than this movie, so... That's another thing, so...
That's funny. Bronson, I think you... Not that you hated on it, but I'm just going to say, for lack of a better term, I think you hated on Winter Soldier like more than anyone I've talked to, other than maybe Thomas. But I don't.
Oh, Thomas fucking was.
Thomas hated it.
Okay, I think
it's really funny because when you talk to him, when we went bit by bit through the movie, he really enjoyed a lot. But then like his overall like perspective, I guess, on the writing,
for him, writing is everything.
Yeah.
So
and that was an action ass.
So the chat says just below Winter Soldier, so I think it's just below Winter Soldier is the consensus.
So by below,
right to me.
So like it would be below Iron Man, below Winter Soldier, above Iron Man.
So it would be between Iron Man and Winter Soldier, because the way you have this ordered is different from. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes.
In my head.
If that is what you're looking for, Emily.
Yes. So that is. So as of right now, before we do Ant-Man, the worst movie, Hulk, followed by Thor: Dark World, Thor,
Mostly.
Iron Man 2, Iron Man, Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, Captain America: The First Avenger, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers.
Fine.
All right.
Fine.
So, next movie we're reviewing, Ant-Man. So,
Ant-Man.
starting out with Derek once again. Was this better, worse, or about the same as you remember it?
So I only saw it once when it came out in theaters, and I remember liking it. But having seen all these other movies so many times and seeing this one, I mean, it was really, really fresh because it was like, what, 6 years ago, 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
It was better. Like, I always liked the movie, but it was better because it felt so fresh. And I'm a big Paul Rudd fan. I'm laughing the entire time. You have Michael Pena in it. I absolutely adore Michael Pena. And you've got, like, T.I., and I love this movie, dude. I absolutely love it.
I will dive into a little bit of that later, but as for me, like, it was the same, but that same was good. This movie's good.
I like it the same. I love this movie. I like it more than most people. I think it's partly because I'm a sucker for heist movies. I like a good
heist movies are fantastic. Man.
I like a good heist movie, regardless of what Rick and Morty says. So I like a good heist movie. And we're getting drop frames. Hold on.
Are we going to be able to take a quick bathroom intermission?
Yeah, hold on. So time out.
Yep, let's set time out.
We'll get deep into Ant-Man while the internet fucking gets its shit figured out.
All right, yeah, go ahead and use the bathroom.
Let the internet ride out this hiccup. We've dropped some frames here and need to let it do its thing.
Cool. Great.
I'm all coked up and ready to go.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. Lordy.
Could have been in front. Could have been behind the car with Hawkeye. There was no reason for him to be out to the side.
Oh, we're going back to that now.
There was none. It was so stupid.
Goes back to my point of like I said, I would have that movie lower, but it's a council here.
I just can't knock it down for they mess up in a few different things. I forgot to mention like the whole Black Widow, like, I can't have babies. Now do you feel like the only monster? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's some problems.
That shit felt very Josh Whedon.
That was a very you feel Josh Whedon throughout this whole movie.
You can feel it. You just feel the Whedon.
Yeah, and again, that's just something I've learned is that when you get the Avengers together and they're one-lining and having fun and doing all that, like that party scene and like, good enough. I'm having a great time. Joss Whedon couldn't even ruin it.
He got fucking close.
He certainly tried.
Fucking, like, it was just weird because he directed the first one. But I think the first one he was probably on a tight leash. They're like, you motherfucker cannot fuck this up.
Has James Gunn done an Avengers?
No.
He should.
Well, he's doing Suicide Squad, and that movie looks fucking incredible.
That movie looks like they're doing really well, so.
I would love to give it. No, who did? It's the brothers.
Russo?
Yeah, the Russo brothers did the last two Avengers.
Yeah, which they did. They did pretty good.
They did real good, especially on Infinity War.
Yup.
So that's
takes some balls to end that the way they did.
Yeah, no, they fucking put some definitive some characters in some definitive places.
Yup.
Which speaking of Ant-Man, Ant-Man 3 started filming in the UK today.
Wow.
Oh, dude, nice.
That movie's gonna have Kang the Conqueror in it.
Huh.
Oh,
okay.
So.
Kang versus Lang action, huh?
All right. Anyway, Ant-Man. So about the same, better. Yeah. So this movie, I love the intro introducing Hank Pym and the Pym particle. If you are aware of Marvel Comics, of like this was a huge deal, the repercussions of this. Like you're like, oh my god, they're bringing the fucking Pym particle into this shit and this early and everything. Da 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 da. And then it cuts to Scott Lang, modern day prison. Um,
You guys have
and
the weirdest goodbye rituals.
yeah, no, that, and then this movie has so many like comedy. Like Age of Ultron has a lot of bad forced comedy. This movie has a lot of really good natural comedy. Like this shit is funny, so fun. Like that van bit. It's just
The
like
van bit. Wow.
it's just like oh, she broke up with me, and my dad got deported, and then my mom died, but I got the van.
I got the van. All right.
Dude, I am like a huge Michael Pena fan. And
Uh.
also, dude, this movie is so funny. I watched it at like 6 a.m. this morning. I should have been tired. And like, sometimes like when you're tired, stuff that
Yeah, no.
I was laughing out loud the entire time.
I went into this movie on like Sunday night, super tired, didn't really get much of an afternoon nap that I normally get, and I was laughing my fucking ass off, dude. Like I thought this shit was hilarious. And then like so also I don't know care about you, we've all had that, but I got the van moment in life. I don't care who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And then just another hilarious scene with the Baskin Robbins. Just like, can I get something hot, fresh, pretzel, mustard? That's ice cream. It's Baskin Robbins.
Can you help this idiot?
It's just like,
I'm an idiot.
yeah, no, yeah, that was great. Or right before, it's like, I got a degree in electrical engineering. I'll be fine. Hey, welcome to Baskin Robbins.
I love the idea of, because this is like obviously a sponsorship deal, like Baskin Robbins, paying money for some free advertisement. Like imagine like writing the scene and then going to the Baskin Robbins office being like, all right, here you go. Here's a Baskin Robbins employee calling their customer an idiot. But then like I can imagine the Baskin Robbins person like watching the guy asking for hot and fresh and being like, yeah, no, that's okay.
Dude, it worked. I definitely wanted like ice cream after watching that scene.
You know what? Yeah, I
was
like
was
Baskin
Robbins open yet?
Baskin Robbins has this really good coffee drink I like.
They do, yeah.
It's just like it's like that chocolate coffee drink. Oh, it's so good. And also it has enough caffeine in it I'm just like wired for like 2 hours after.
Oh, but what's so interesting though is, and I'm interested in the fact that Baskin Robbins like signed on to this. Maybe they just didn't occur to them, but like these movies tend to touch on something in our society, like some sort of issue, whether it be something as simple as someone having dementia or dealing with PTSD, or it's having to do something with like some sort of inequality in our culture or something. And this one was people who have gone to jail having a much harder time getting a second chance. Like our society does not allow them to do that. And like the moment Baskin Robbins found out, like immediately fired him, despite him clearly being a competent human being.
Right.
Yeah, dude, ex-con's got it rough. I know a friend of mine, like, dude's an ex-con. Dude's working under the table right now.
Because he has to, because our system is fucked up and like really does not allow people who have been in that system to get a second chance. And that's what the whole movie's about, is getting second chances.
Yep.
It's very interesting that Baskin Robbins let that slip, but hey.
I think Baskin Robbins just enjoyed being in a Marvel movie.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough.
But
Robbins always plays out.
Yeah, and that line, dude, that line alone, it's funny, and like that has been in like my fucking like mind since I watched this movie 6 years ago.
Sure.
Just like anytime someone's, hey, let's go to Baskin Robbins, I'm like, Baskin Robbins always finds out. Like, just it's in my brain.
Just look that out willy nilly. You gotta look for the right scenario.
Anyway, I just love how the manager is super into it too. Oh no, it was a cool crime.
Oh, you know, he's like
Yeah.
this dorky looking guy, and he calls him in, and he's acting like Scott's like this like global hero, and he's like, "Oh, but you're fired. Like, yeah, I can never keep you on. Like, what? Like,
Yeah, like
you're
oh
out
yeah,
here. Like,
get out.
Damn.
Just like you,
wanted to
but-
take a mango
but
freeze on the way out.
you'd have one of those mango
Hey,
fruit blasts on the way out.
Way.
I'll look away. And then the best part is the next scene. He's walking up the street to his apartment with a mango fruit.
Yes.
I mean, are you not going to take advantage of that?
No, hell yeah, dude. I have been fired from jobs and gotten significantly less on the way out. So
Yeah.
no, like I feel you. He goes to his apartment, which because it's in San Francisco, of course, has the the gate on it. Goes up, past the rave on the second floor. Meets up with his dudes who like Penya's character has informed him all of his record, and they're just like, "Oh yes, I have heard of this heist and all this shit." And he's like, "Look, I'm going straight." And then we get it cuts back to Hank Pym and the Pym particle stuff. And another funny moment. It's just like, ID, sir. It's like, will that suffice? Points to a picture of himself on the fucking wall.
Yep. I'll do it.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we get introduced to the villain of this movie, who also is terrible. This villain's
He's
fucking
terrible.
so one note. Just like
One note. Yep.
evil, like, this is another robot Jeff Bridges.
This is Ironmonger, but
With daddy issues, with some dude who's not even his fucking dad.
This is like Ironmonger with daddy issues.
needing some sort of acceptance. Some sort. Yeah.
He's like pining for Pym's approval.
Yeah,
That's different
like-
from
it's
Ironmonger.
like,
that's
"He is
different, but it's
nothing but contempt for me."
yeah, but it's still just like what the fuck?
Push me away.
I just wanted to create to make a super suit to kill millions.
Why don't you understand, Dad?
Someone clip that bit.
And he's like, the dude's like huge too. Like he's like 6'5" and he's like all buff and
Yeah, he's
like,
huge.
You know, and he goes over
Like
the
a white Keegan Michael Key.
but yeah, like he goes over the research, like, oh, look what we found so far. Yeah, I found your blueprints. Da 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 da. And goes about his day, and then that he's like, okay, we need to speed up the heist now, to his daughter, who is undercover. And then it cuts to Lang visiting his daughter. Once he's out of jail and it's her birthday, and like he's not supposed to because, jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she comes out so excited she spit out her drink. The wonder of children, right?
I gotta say, man, I think the actress who played his daughter did a great job. I thought
For
she was
for a
really cute
child
little girl.
actress, killed it.
Yeah, really cute
Absolute-
little girl. Just made me laugh every time she was on screen. Like,
Yeah, like once again for a kid, bruh, killed it.
no, she's fantastic. Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's so there's that. So they have the argument. It's like, hey, just be the dude she already thinks you are. And he goes and calculates it, and he's like, okay, I would have to work for like a year to even have a shot at visiting my daughter.
Right.
He's like, fuck. And then we get more bad guy being bad guy. It is one of the most fucking shocking scenes in these movies so far, where he turns another man into a booger.
Oh, dude, that part is hardcore.
Like, I'm just like, it establishes that this man does not fuck around, and he's a giant fucking psychopath.
yeah, he's incredibly unstable. All because that guy, I don't even remember his name. He is like, it's like, yeah, this is cool, but if our enemies got this, it'd be really bad. And then crosses immediately like, I'm gonna kill this fucking guy.
I'm gonna ice this dude. So yeah, there's that. Then he goes to dinner with Hope, Hank's daughter. and we get a taste of the crazy. And then Lang is back at the apartment. He's like, "Why don't you tell me about that job?" And we get the first one of Luis's, Michael Pena's characters, fucking rambling ass stories.
This
I
was
love
like the
that.
amazing, like this
I
is
love that
this is
so
the
much.
scene I think of when I think of Ant-Man. Is like I never would have expected this. It was hilarious.
It was so good. It's like, did you tell him to tell her to tell me? Like, just
When I mentioned like Michael Pena earlier, you guys seemed like you were kind of unsure. Have you guys like seen him in other stuff? Like, have you seen Chips?
I'm sure I have. I've seen his face before.
I've definitely
Oh,
seen him
okay.
some other stuff, but like, it's just one of those things where it's like, this was like the role that made me be like, oh, this dude really is like hilarious.
Okay, if you guys haven't seen Chips, you need to watch it because it's him and Dax Shepard starring as cops, and it's just absolute. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever. I'll leave it at that because we're not talking about other movies. But I'm just saying, Michael Pena Chips, like straight up, just check it out if you can.
All right,
You
so
will be a fan for life after that movie, I guarantee.
so they go to do the heist, which I mean anyone can guess that it's Pym's house, and Scott is showing off why like, oh, this dude wasn't just like a hacker. This dude was like a top notch burglar.
Mm.
He
Yeah,
gets
it's
to
pretty
clarify
obvious.
that he burgled, not robbed. It's like robbed means threat. I burgled, or like whatever.
oh, I burgled them. And then like the fact that he's able to like create a freaking thing for the laser, right? Like that was crazy, and
Amazing.
and then you have and then like he's like, okay, well, the door, like, okay, we need ice that will break that open with ice, and like, he's just like doesn't do well in the cold, so he creates this miraculous contraption to break the safe open with ice,
Great
and then
scene.
like there's nothing in here, and just steals what he thinks is a motorcycle suit, and then he tries it out the next day, and turns out, hey, just a trap. Not a trap. Like, I guess a trap.
It's sort of a trap. I'm wondering why he took the suit.
He probably thought it was valuable.
Motorcycle suits are very expensive.
I suppose.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it was that. Hey, man, if something's buying that level of safe, I think it has to be worth something, right?
I guess I was actually looking at the like vials of stuff on the side,
Yeah, they never really touched on that, which I'm pretty sure was just the paint.
practicing for Pym particle.
Yeah, and then I really love the effects in this movie. Like whenever he goes super small,
They're
and
intense.
like that, like the scale of this is kind of fucking horrifying. Like the first time he shrinks down, it's like whoa.
Yeah.
You have that
He gets
bath.
sucked up into the vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
the dust,
that
the
part,
dust going
I
around
don't
is
know
like
why, but that
holy
part
shit.
scared me. Like I was scared for him. I was just like, oh my god, like what's gonna? It's so filthy in there.
So we have a so he gets out of the like, and then Hank is communicating with him via radio now that the suit's on, and he's like, he goes through and like he's like, all right, Scott, trial by fire, and like he goes through his apartment as an ant basically. And he's he ends up in the second floor with the DJs and whatnot, and gets on a record, and he gets chased by a giant rat, and gets flung onto a car. It's like not bad for its first trial, and Scott is just freaking out, just like just like losing his freaking mind. He's like, "It's all right, Scott. We'll be in touch." And then he goes to return the suit, but gets caught.
Yep.
And
Yeah, Hope called the cops on him.
which we find out later in the movie. The thing I do like about the scene is like he gets arrested, like, wait, I'm not saying anything. I was returning something I stole.
Very good.
Great humor. He ends up in jail, but gets rescued by Hank, his lawyer, in quotes, and it and so he gets rescued by his lawyer, in quotes, and goes down to the lower levels, and this is like, well, we got a job for you, da 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 da. Like, we need you to, to run the Ant-Man suit to do some good.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
he's like using the ants to cover up the camera when
Yep.
they're having the conversation.
Yep, using the ants to guard him, using the ants to deliver, sugar to the tea. They explain that, well, I'm, using this, and this. All very clever. And then we get down to Pym, and then they go down to Pym's lab, and he explains, he's like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. What do you need me to do? Or he's like, my days of, stealing shit are over. What do you need me to do? It's just like, well, I need you to go steal some shit.
Yep.
Once again, great fucking hilarious dialogue. And then, but Hope wants to go be, the ant person, and, it's causing a lot of tension between them, and, we get the training montage. And we get the quantum realm explained to us for the first time. Like, look, if you go between the atoms, you're going to end up, you're gonna have to go, and if you go to the quantum realm, and then you can't come back. So don't fuck with the regulator. What's that? Something.
I didn't understand anything about the quantum realm other than don't fuck with the. That was all.
Don't fuck with the regulator. This whole montage and like string of explanation sequence was the weakest part of the movie for me.
Same
because they had to pack so much information really quickly, or else this would have been an even longer movie. Like, it was already 2 hours for Ant-Man, so it was like, all right, we need to. So I understand why they did it, but it was like,
I dug it. I didn't dug it as much as I enjoyed the Iron Man 1, like, building the suit, but I still liked all the different training, the like MMA stuff with Hope, especially when he talks shit and gets fucking bopped, and then training the different ants and all that stuff.
No, I loved all that stuff too. I was just saying about the quantum realm or whatever, that like really hyper accelerated explanation. I was just kind of.
That was important to what eventually happened at the end,
right.
and then what happens in the second movie and in the fourth Avengers movie,
and
like
to
that...
explain why Hope's mom, Hank's wife, is gone.
Right, and then so like, and like I do enjoy the talk that Scott has with Hope in the car of like, no, the reason that I'm here is because he cares about you, because I'm expendable.
Right.
Like, if I die in this mission, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, like that's some context, and then Hope's like, I'm sorry I called Hope, I didn't know he had a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth. And then you get the full day of training in. It's just like, all right, he's officially the full Ant-Man now. Okay, but we need this item to break in. Oh yeah, it's one of Stark's old warehouse, and he fights the motherfucking Falcon.
Good lord.
And he wins.
He had the upper hand, being this was his debut.
This is his. Well, yeah, it's his debut, and like,
when you debut a power like that, it's like, I don't know how to fight this.
Yeah, not only that, like, I just love how it's just like, hi, I'm Scott. Ant-Man.
Yeah, his real name.
Did he just say, hi, I'm Scott? Yeah, he did.
There's probably only like a total of 2 scenes in this movie that didn't make me laugh.
Oh, it's such a funny movie.
Throughout the entire
I'm a sucker for good humor, and this movie is so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the funnier.
But yeah, they land on the roof because he's like, oh yeah, I can get it, no problem. We need it, and then just him and the Falcons. It's like, what are you doing, son? Da 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 da. They start fighting, and it's a really good fight scene. Like, it shows off how like amazing that power actually kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when you say, oh, shrinking, I guess that's all right, but then you're like, oh, this
when you use it right.
Yeah, and then like he used his MMA training with the shrinking, which that was awesome. you know, he gets the kit. And like I like how like during the footage like Hope is actively impressed.
Sure.
Um,
I like
but
when
yeah.
Falcon says, like, please don't let Cap find out about this. And then, like, everyone ends up finding out anyway.
Yeah, like I just like I can't let you ever find out about this. Yeah, so he goes in the shed, he messes up Falcon's pack, and escapes with the item. Well,
Yeah. Yep. It was
so
good.
and then we find out, that like, oh my god, he's accelerated the plans, da 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 da. It's just like we would need a whole team. It's like no, not those three wombats.
This might be my favorite part of the whole movie.
Just like, sir,
Oh, yeah.
it's an honor to be invited back into your home. It's not that often after you rob a place they invite you back. Because we robbed you. That was us. It's just like...
Favorite was when they were setting up and Hope says, "Yeah, he's in the system." He's like, "I'm in the system. I'm in the system. I'm in the system." No, I'm sorry. That might have been like my favorite joke, my favorite bit so far in the MCU. I don't know why. It's what Michael does, right? Just the way he delivers that line, just was amazing.
And then just like him showing off the just may freak you out. It's like Baba Yaga. It's like just kills it, dude. They both like all of them just kill it.
Yep.
Like they just it's so good.
He says Daddy doesn't get scared, and then he's scared when he's on his fucking shoulder, and he's like running around screaming. It's like I thought Daddy didn't get scared.
So they set up the alternate heist. They set up the alternate heist, and it's all good to go. And I forgot to mention, it's all good to go, and it's all going well, right? Like it's all going fine. Like everything's going in our hero's favor. But as any good heist movie, shit starts to go bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example. The cops come to a van, fucking because of their little meeting, they figured Antman, he knew Antman was coming, and like, they seal him in the cage thing,
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, Michael Pena's character doesn't get found out though.
Yeah, but they got the rapper T.I. I don't know if you guys recognized him, but that's T.I.
I didn't.
Oh yeah, like he accidentally hits the horn and it plays like this sing-songy sound, and then the Paxton's like, "I know this man." And it's like, oh shit! They got made because T.I. pressed the horn on the van. It's just ridiculous.
Everyone in that crew does really well.
I just loved how like they showcase like how Michael Pena's character just has this amazing right hook.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he saves the guy that. Well, anyway, I'll wait.
Yeah. Like, so you think he's gonna get away, but then like Ant-Man figures out a way out. Michael Pena's character, or not Michael Pena's character, the dudes in the van upload the thing, and then like Darren Cross, bad dude, takes the stuff and runs away, and then it turns into a giant chase scene. This part goes on a little long for me, even though due to Ant-Man's inherent powers, it is a lot of fun. Like,
Sure.
Of them, like, fighting inside the helicopter, and whatnot. Ant-Man's outside the helicopter, and, like, bad guy finally realizes, okay, if I don't do this, I'm screwed. He puts on the yellow jacket, and then they start fighting, and then they shrink. And in one of the best scenes in the whole fucking movie... are fighting in the fucking suitcase as they're falling through the air, and someone turns on Siri and is playing a song, and like I love how they zoom out to see the outside of the suitcase, just a suitcase falling in the air with lasers coming out of it.
Yeah, it's a Disintegration by the Cure. That's playing.
It's such a good moment. The cops take him. They think, they think, oh, he's gone because in the bug zapper. They get there, so he goes to go after, Scott's daughter. But thankfully Scott shows up just in time, and he's like, pick on. This was actually I loved this one-liner. Pick on someone your own size, and then shrinks him. That was
It was well executed for sure.
I like that one a lot. And then this part, I love when they're like, we gotta go help Scotty, guys. Nothing's gonna stop us. And they show up in the van, and all the cops are there. And it's like, back it up, back it up, just back it up, back it up.
So good.
And then we have the big Ant-Man Yellow Jacket fight with the stepdad coming in to protect a little bit as well. And then Ant-Man figures out, okay, well, I gotta shrink between the molecules because it's titanium, and he does for his daughter. But then he figures out how that, well, maybe if I do this, we'll get out.
Thankfully, he has the embiggen ninja star.
Yes. Yes.
I also thought that those looked like shuriken.
Yeah.
Shuriken with LED lights.
So
be a cool idea.
Figures that out.
Cool idea. I'd buy one.
Yellow Jackets defeated.
Comes the tank engine with a guest appearance.
Yes,
yeah,
that whole fight scene was great. On the toy train stuff, when the ant gets big and walks out, that's the ugliest dog I've ever seen.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, no, like when he's like, it's like there's something wrong with that dog. I swear to God, I was choking on my own spit when he said that because he looks so horrified. You see like the train crashing, and it's supposed to be like this big thing, but then like it shows like the wide shot, and it's just like a toy landing on the windowsill. Like it's nothing.
That's a real fun action scene. All the action in this movie is real good. I really like it just because it's so different than what you normally get because it's
right,
tiny.
Yeah.
But like and then we get the resolution post movie, and then I like how they're making out through the door, and then Hank's door. And he's like, Hope, what are you doing? How'd you come out to me? He goes, that's just. You're full of shit, Scott. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I like that one.
Kissed him first.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then get the dinner with the family. It's very cute. And then Scott's like, oh, I got a work call. And very late movie Stan Lee cameo.
Oh yeah.
And Anna Akana cameo for those of you who are YouTube people. We get another one of Pena's long, like, did he tell you or tell him, tell her, to tell you that I know that I'm friends with Ant-Man? And I said, yes.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, see that girl, I'm fine. It's like, she's fine, stupid fine.
I gotta ask real quick though, because I was unsure. What exactly happened to Cross at the end of that fight?
He just apparently he just shrunk. Like they ripped out his regulator, so I guess he just shrunk all the way to the quantum realm. So they could do another one.
So he disappeared but didn't die. That's kind of what I took from it.
Yeah,
that's what that basically means. If you didn't see him die on camera.
Okay. I will say that it's going to be a while if they do return to him because, I mean, the next movie they're doing Kang the Conqueror.
He's a dog shit villain, and he probably won't be.
Yeah, the thing about this is this was written by... The screenplay of this was done by Edgar Wright.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact.
That explains the humor.
Yeah, no, that definitely explains why the humor's so...
So, yeah. I don't know if he did the second one. I did check that. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm looking at this list. I'm trying to think. Who wrote?
The second one had a lot of writers, including Paul Rudd.
Oh,
sure,
nice.
Sure. Why not?
I love Paul Rudd so much.
I like the idea that
Not
Paul
just
Rudd's
'cause of
like
this movie,
invested
just
in
general.
Ant-Man.
He really is, dude. He loves the character. Then we
Good
had
character.
two post credit scenes for this movie. We get introduced to the Wasp
Yep.
for one.
Oh yeah, dude, that scene's so cool. Like then that suit's awesome.
It is.
I was kind of hyped up at that part.
Yeah, I was like,
I was
oh fuck, dude, I can't wait to see her in the second one.
Yeah, that was.
And then, and then we get our Civil War teaser. So,
Yes.
So yeah, gentlemen, I had a great time with this movie. I do acknowledge it has some flaws. The villain sucks. I think the end fight scene goes on a little too long, like the end pacing on it.
Sure.
That said, otherwise, I had a great time with this movie. Those minor things, though, and like, I realize that it has overall consequence to the MCU. We just won't realize it till later. But I have to, grade it on where it is now, of course. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Loved it. Had a great time.
Oh, this is hard. This is another one where those half stars would come in handy. I think.
Who made up that rule anyway? Was that Bronson?
I mean, it was Bronson and I both are big advocates of a 5-star system, but 5-star systems I found are great for when you're grading something individually and when you're trying to split hairs on a list of like 24 movies.
Oh yeah, dude, that's
splitting it can help a little more, but I'm fine with this. It's fine.
It makes you make the tough calls.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to give it a 4. That's a
4?
close 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4.
It was a hard call for me as well.
Yeah.
It was a hard call for me as well.
Yeah.
It's a 5 for me.
It's 5 for you?
It's a 5.
Alright, where's everyone putting it? Because for me, I would put it between Winter Soldier and Iron Man 3.
See, I have to try to answer this without bias because this is one of the MCU movies I've seen the least. And I think that adds to my enjoyment of it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm like, I would rather watch this again than watch like the Avengers because I've seen the Avengers like 600 times. So,
I mean, like, I'll say this: if I'm answering this with bias, then I'm putting it right below Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, I think a good spot for it is between Winter Soldier and Iron Man 3.
Like, I'd rather watch Antman than watch probably either Winter Soldier or Age of Ultron.
Okay, what about you, Aaron?
I forgot how much I like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reminded of how much I enjoyed it when I first watched it. I would put it above Iron Man 3.
Okay.
I'm struggling with where to put it in regards to First Avenger.
Oh, well, yeah, first.
So we have two people say it's above Winter. So I have it above Winter Soldier. Where did you have it again, Derek?
I'd say maybe just above. Well, I don't know. They're two different movies, though. That's what makes it kind of tough. Like,
It is tough.
Like, this is straight up a glorified like comedy, and Winter Soldier is,
Is very much a drama.
Crazy action drama,
and it's very integral to the overall story.
Like the right, and you definitely recognize that at the time versus this one, you don't recognize how integral it is until like 4 movies later.
Maybe to be a little more realistic and a little more grounded, maybe just below Winter Soldier.
Okay, so
fair.
Okay, so that lowers the curve. I'm in the middle of the curve. Aaron's at the top of the curve. So yeah, no, that's an interesting.
Because
chat, what do you say?
Yeah, chat, what are you guys thinking? Because like, God, first of all, this movie's so fucking funny.
I'm a sucker for good humor, so if we want to rank it higher, I'm cool ranking it higher.
And that's why I was saying it's straight up a 5 for me, dude. Like, I'm laughing the entire time.
Like, the Iron Man movies are hilarious, but a lot of that lifting is Robert Downey Jr. and then Pepper Potts, I keep forgetting the name of the actress.
Gwyneth
Oh, Gwyneth
Paltrow.
Paltrow.
Thank you. Um, they do a lot of good work there, and then Ben Kingsley in Iron Man 3 is
Ben Kingsley in Iron Man
hilarious.
3 is
Yeah,
funny, so.
like
Um,
it's somewhere I feel in this circle. It's just
I-
it. Is
my
it?
problem is, yeah, it's I want to put it between Iron Man 3 and First Avenger.
And I want to put it between Winter Soldier and Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 3 is. I'm willing to put it above Iron Man 3, but I mean, Derek has to be cool with it because he wants to put it below Winter Soldier.
Oh
Hmm.
no, I think as long as it's above Iron Man 3, I think that's totally fine.
Okay, then that's
On
above
the other
Iron Man
end of
3.
that, I don't care.
Emily has it between First Avenger and Iron Man 3. Yeah, yep.
Okay, Ant-Man.
That's it.
Yeah. Wow, that's going to be controversial for some people.
Well, they shouldn't have made such a good Ant-Man movie.
Dude, when you attach Paul Rudd to something, it's just gonna be fantastic.
I had such low expectations for this movie when I saw it in the theater for the first time. I was like, "You're fucking making an Ant-Man?"
Sure. Right, it's weird.
Okay, all right.
But that's what's so amazing is like even like the one-dimensional like super unstable bad guy, like that guy does his role well. Everyone does their role real well.
Yeah,
Like
no, that's fair, totally.
My only real complaint is that they had to cram a montage to get all sorts of stuff in really quickly. Like that was my only real complaint.
I like how for the most part we all had real different complaints other than the fact that the villain sucks.
I mean, unfortunately, when it comes to establishing a hero, you kind of have to have a one-dimensional villain.
I'm trying to
Looks
think
like.
of good villains in the MCU. It's like Loki.
Like Loki was a
He's not really
good.
a villain though. I just think he's like
He was the first villain of the
Avengers.
Avengers.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
Loki.
So.
And then like Red Skull is kind of one-dimensional. But he's really interesting.
Yeah, Red Skull.
Oh yeah, Red Skull's great.
I like Ego and Vulture as villains.
Well, I have some problems with how Vulture was handled at the end.
And then Thanos, of course.
Thanos is a no-brainer.
Um,
Which one's Ego?
Guardians 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, Ego. Wait, you liked it?
I like
love,
Ego.
I love Kurt Russell, but I thought Ego was like.
I loved it. I totally dug.
Man.
Like I totally dug his motivation and like that scene at the end, like that scene where he's like, and once again we're revisiting that movie in like 3 weeks, but no 2 weeks, but like that scene where just like, you know, don't you get it? If I die, you know, if we go, or if the planet dies, you'll be just like everyone else. And then like, what's wrong with being like everyone else? Like Peter says to him, you know, because like Ego, like wanted to keep his godhood, but like the reason he's so miserable is because he's always alone. You know, and like the reason he's always alone is because he has to constantly return or stay at his planet to juice up. You know, it's like this real fucking good, like create your own prison type deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
I feel like villains are. I think it's more difficult to do a good villain than it is to do a good hero.
Oh yeah, way harder.
Not just in comics and anything. So like, I've learned to temper my expectations for villains down really low.
And then Killmonger is pretty good too.
Oh,
So-
I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, but let me tell you about my thesis about why Guardians 2 is amazing.
I still have not finished Guardians 2. I got halfway through and I stopped for some reason.
Oh, you haven't seen?
I haven't seen it all the way through.
Well, Aaron, if you're like me, in relation to your father, that ending is going to make you cry like a bitch.
I mean, you've already told me, you know, some lines.
That might be a bit of overstating thing, but Bronson, Guardians 2 is your favorite, period, right?
Yeah, that is my favorite Marvel movie.
Okay.
So it kind of check boxes everything I like in a good movie. Interesting action set pieces, funny as hell, great character pieces and development. Like it develops all the Guardians a little bit, or at least shows a different side of them. And then also like the art in that movie is fantastic. Like
Guardians 2 does Drax a lot better. I love all of Drax's lines and comedy scenes. I mean,
that scene where he's talking with Mantis like on the waterfall, fucking amazing.
Like I love Drax more in Guardians 2 because I feel like he's fully fleshed out. But I think other than that, I might.
Yeah. All right, so we have our final ranking for the end by the end of Phase 2. Hey guys, we wrapped up Phase 2.
Damn.
We're
All right.
chugging along. Choo choo. All right, so just like Tom's tank engine in Ant-Man,
Exactly.
busting through walls.
There's a big hole in the house.
So,
Oh yeah.
worst of these movies, the giant piece of shit that is the Incredible Hulk, followed by Thor: Dark World, then Thor, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 1, Age of Ultron, The Winter Soldier, Iron Man 3, Ant-Man, Captain America, The First Avenger, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Avengers 2012.
See, that list sounds totally reasonable to me. Like hearing it read out loud, that's totally.
There's
Reading
some
it,
things I'd move around, but you know.
the only thing that I would really do different looking at this list right now is swap Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers.
Well, I should say,
And-
except for the beginning, like when we do that supplemental episode Aaron's talking about.
Yeah.
Like I will die on the hill that Thor 2 needs to be at the bottom because fuck that movie.
I may rewatch that movie one more time just because,
It's
like,
so-
fuck,
dude,
damn it.
it's
I had to
so
watch it
bad.
3 times to get through it. I fell asleep.
It's so bad.
I have to
dude.
rewatch it again before we do that.
Physical
supplemental.
Hold on.
pain.
Air Extreme in the chat says both Hulk movies were terrible to me.
Is he saying the Hulk movie with Eric Bana is terrible? Because the movie fucking rocks.
Well, then there's also wasn't there a Hulk movie in the 70s as well?
Oh yeah. With,
I don't remember that
Lou
one.
Ferrigno.
There was a
That's
show.
Well, it was a show, yeah.
No, he did the show. Never.
No, I don't
Was there
think
not a second Abomination movie?
hold on.
No, am I imagining that? Is that all in my
No, I
head?
don't think so.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm looking up the Hulk movies.
I like the Eric Bana Hulk movie a lot. That's all.
I have
No.
not seen that movie since I was very little, so I don't know.
So there's
Yeah, I
Hulk.
haven't either, but I'm choosing to believe it's still.
You can choose.
Not unless you included an animated movies, which apparently there's an animated Hulk movie called Hulk, Where Monsters Dwell.
Isn't there an animated Planet Hulk, or maybe just the comic? Maybe.
Maybe. That might be a thing. I'm unsure.
Yeah, actually, after the first week I did this show with you guys,
Mhm.
I was like at Best Buy like a day later, 2 days later, and I saw that Eric Bana Hulk movie on Blu-ray for only like $6, so I bought it. And I haven't watched it yet, but I'm excited.
Ooh. Yeah.
By the way,
The game that came out with it was awesome. I remember the violence was like really over the top. I mean, you could literally like pile drive dudes into the concrete.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
that game
destroy
was
the
a
tanks
pre-
and throw 'em. Like the game was amazing.
That's not Ultimate Destruction.
that is no, it's the regular Hulk. It's the movie the
I think
game.
it's just called Hulk.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
just called Hulk.
By the way, Air Extreme. I know we're getting down and winding down our ranking, but if you want to see more Marvel conversations and talk like this every Tuesday night, give us a follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, like personally, I would move Iron Man up a couple spots, and swap Guardians and Avengers is pretty much the only beef I have with this list so far.
Oh, you want Guardians to be the top? No, other than
Yeah. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is.
I think what we should do is for that supplemental episode, we reorder this list to reflect our personal lists.
Oh, yeah,
And,
we-
I might write up my own list and then
We'll-
compare
personal
them.
list.
we will make our own personal list and then also
Yep.
come discuss our group findings.
Yep.
So far, this is not a bad list, though. If I saw this, I'd be like, oh, I can see where you're coming from.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no. So, chat, do you have any questions about the list or anything? Anything that you have to say where we are at the end of Phase 2?
Mm-hmm.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
While you're doing that, tomorrow we are starting Halo Reach in our show Halo We Love You.
Yep, we are playing through all the Halo games. Well, all the Halo shooters and RTS games, not the phone games. Um, and we are finally on Halo Reach. So, as for Thursday, I have plans. So Aaron will be organizing a Phasmophobia night.
Yes, sir.
And then Sunday is Super Gamecast 2. Turbo HD Remix.
Video games, the video game industry, and then other stuff. I don't know.
That IGN news is going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on there. That's still developing.
Anyway, so well, that's going on. And then next week we're going to be back here. Speaking of, I'm going to update our schedule for this show. So next week we have 2 absolute bangers with Civil War, Captain America Civil War, and Doctor Strange.
Ooh, next week's going to be fun.
The week after that, coming off of Memorial Day weekend, is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man Homecoming. For those
two, Guardians Juan Bronson.
What?
I'm just messing.
Yeah, we're just messing with you. Was you mean 1 or 2?
Guardians Juan Bronson.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Sorry.
Okay, cool.
And Spider-Man Homecoming. Just so you guys know, Spider-Man Homecoming, I know most of you are keeping along with this homework via Disney Plus. To give everyone a chance to get ahead, to put some money away for the Blu-ray or the rental or whatever. Spider-Man Homecoming is not on Disney Plus. It's not on any services for free. So you'll have to either do the Amazon rental for $4 or go out and buy a copy. So
I should sell my standard Blu-ray on my Mercari store and rebuy that movie in 4K.
I have that movie on Blu-ray, and I have no intention to start rebuying MCU movies in 4K. So there's that. So anyway,
dude, Bronson though, dude, you're missing out at the very least with Guardians, because I just watched Guardians 1 in 4K like for last week. It was absolutely breathtaking.
Guardians 2 I have considered because it is my favorite.
At the very least do that, because it has amazing visuals too. Like with the 4K and the HDR, it's almost like a new movie. Yeah,
Ego's Planet in 4K HDR is probably fucking mind-blowing.
And you get the Dolby Atmos audio off the 4K Blu-ray, so...
I don't have an Atmos soundbar, actually.
Okay.
I bought that when I bought my soundbar about 2 going on 3 years ago now, when Atmos was still like cutting edge and massively expensive.
Oh, gotcha. I've got a receiver that supports Atmos and like 8 speakers.
But the good news is my current soundbar it does rock the room real good. So
that's all that matters, dude.
So anyway. Then this is kind of a down week for me. Thor, Ragnarok, and Black Panther.
Alright. I like Ragnarok.
And then we have...
Watch Ragnarok, actually.
Then we got Avengers Infinity War. Hell yes. Oof. And the Antman and the Wasp.
Alright.
Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1 week is completely dedicated to Spider-Man Far From Home, unless we choose to fill the second spot in with something else.
Supplemental lists, or working on our own lists, or I don't know.
And then Black Widow also gets her own special episode.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
On top of all those goodies, we are going to be reviewing Loki on the Gamecast as it comes out. The following Sunday, so the episodes come out on Wednesday morning. We're going to be reviewing them the following Sunday. So the first episode comes out on, I want to say that's June 9th. Hold on. Yes, first episode comes out June 9th at midnight. We'll be reviewing it June 14th. Or no, June 13th. So...
have you guys seen WandaVision?
Yes, I have.
I haven't seen the last 2 episodes yet.
I haven't seen any of it yet, but I was gonna say if I watched it, and Aaron, if you watched the last 2 episodes, maybe we could briefly.
Okay, if you want. I don't think we should rank those shows on the movie list, but if we want to discuss,
not even rank them. But
if you want to discuss WandaVision with Far From Home, that'd be perfect. I'd be happy to do so.
Is it worth the watch?
I enjoyed it.
Good.
I enjoyed it. I think that there are parts of it that kind of fall apart, and it's a bit on the slow side at the beginning, but I had a good time. Every week I was excited to see each episode. Those last 2 episodes really are killer. And then also because Scarlet Witch is the villain of Doctor Strange, you kind of need to watch Doctor Strange 2. You're going to kind of have to watch that show eventually anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Falcon.
Does that take place in the 50s? Like, is it them being married in the 50s?
No. I'm not going to spoil that.
You'll see.
I'm not going to spoil that for you, boy.
No,
That's a fun time.
The gimmick of the beginning of that show and like the first half of that show is fun in its own right.
The first 3 episodes are all in different decades. And
well, not 3, right? It's like 4, right?
Well, I mean, technically the first 7 are all in different decades, but you find out the twist of what it is on the 4th episode.
5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, you find out the twist, but like
I thought maybe the entire show was like an actual sitcom with them in the 50s, and I was like, I'm totally here for this. But I didn't know.
Those moments are great. They're really
those
great.
moments are fantastic. You'll see, and it's I think it's awesome. I think that bit is fantastic.
I'll start it soon then.
And then if you haven't done it yet, Falcon and Winter Soldier is also a great watch. It's a fantastic watch. I had a great time with it.
Let's do them back to back.
I like it more than I like WandaVision actually though.
I heard that it was slightly better.
So yeah, take that how you will. So yeah, that's it. That's our schedules going forward. And then from there, this show goes away until a new Marvel movie comes out, which, in all honesty, that means you get like a month off from this show.
So in the meantime, we can talk about DC movies.
There you go. Superman 1. Let's go.
Yeah, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I'm all about it, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'd even like that.
All right, so after that, it's Shang-Chi in September, Eternals in November, Spider-Man in December.
This year?
Yep. That's all
so
this year.
You're telling me that maybe I'm going to see Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man movie?
Maybe.
Yep, right before Christmas, December 17th.
Then that could be my Christmas present. I'll die happy.
Yep. And that movie is also written by the Antman 2 people, apparently.
Wow.
I was going to say this flat out. Spider-Man 2 is my #1 favorite Marvel movie of all time ever made.
Also, it's directed by John Watts, who did the first 2 Spider-Man movies. He's also signed on to direct Fantastic Four. He directed and co-wrote Clown and Cop Car.
Wait. Sam Raimi did the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
I mean, you mean like the MCU, first 2 MCU
Spider-Man. Yes, right. Oh, yes, I know, I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, yeah, dude, he did do that clown movie, and it's actually like a decent horror movie, because I remember when I saw he was doing Homecoming, I was like, the guy who clown did this?
Speaking of Sam Raimi, he is the director of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that movie's going to be nuts.
That movie's going to be so fucking crazy.
I'm ready.
It comes out dude, I'm going to go to that movie. Like, I'm not a big midnight movie guy. I don't like a packed theater. I like going to the movies at 10:30 in the morning. Like I'm that guy. Like, 10:30 in the morning, it's cheaper. There's no one there.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Like, it's beautiful.
I saw Endgame at 10:30 in the morning, and it rocked.
I saw the Endgame was one I saw premiere night. Because like that one I had to see premiere night. I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But like,
I saw it 10:30 like the day of, like before the night.
Like Spider-Man: Far From Home. Like, I strolled in at 10 in the morning with the girl I was dating at the time. We got there hell early, grabbed food, got in. We're out of there before noon. It was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Anyway, so that's our schedule for the week. Hey, a Wild Jerica, an Architect Avian, is streaming right now.
Ooh.
And I talked to her earlier this day in Cartwheels chat. Another boy we like to raid so much.
Yeah.
So let's go raid Jerica, wish her well, and then call it night. If you're not following Jerica yet, do so. She's awesome.
She's great.
She is one of the coolest people. She's always very supportive of us. So the least we can do is support her.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. And we're raiding!
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, she has a watch party.
Who's there?
No one you fools would ever have heard of. Do me a favor and hand over the brain.
Oh my god, it's Raid! the raid time, guys.
But I thank you to be civil.
Ma'am, you're missing a pant leg and most of your chest piece.
What's going on, Super Game Crash? What pirate radio shit is this? It is the Fatal Fury OVA, the third one.
Nice S-stock and shit.
Ooh.
Must be cold.
Well, you're not bad for a woman, but you're still no match for
Wow, that
me.
was sexist as
We'll
shit.
see
Jesus.
about that.
All right,
Early
and for some
90s.
The 90s.
and for some
Early
reason, if you're still
90s.
watching us watch this stream, it's
Nice,
a little weird and
guys.
creepy,
Well, thanks for the raid.
and you should go follow
Hold on one
Jericho.
second
Bye.
here. I'll pause it real quick.
Bye.